Welcome to Steeltown Football, folks. I'm Bill. This is Mike on the other side. We're here to tell you everything about the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 8. Wasn't great, but we're going to talk about it. Anyway, I'm a journalist who wants to be a sports talking head. Mike here is a real fan. Just look at the background there. Is reserved parking for Steeler fans only. So, Mike,
wouldn't have it any other way, Billy.
I want to start this off easy. It was a bad week, but remember, there's still 2 games ahead on the loss side, which is a plus. They have a very tough game against the resurgent Indianapolis Colts next week with Danny Dimes as their starting quarterback. So we're going to start off easy. We're going to talk about the referee bad calls, which everybody can get on board with referee bad calls, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I know of 2. One, nobody seemed to notice but me, but I guess I'm weird. You said you noticed 3, or was it 2 obvious calls or 3 obvious calls? It was 3.
There were several obvious calls to me. Yeah.
So the one, which is like, I couldn't believe it, is the offsides by the Packers. Even Aaron Rodgers thought it was offsides. It was offsides. The refs huddled together. Let's get a huddle going. There's no penalty on the play.
No, I think you could have called 2 of the. I think you could have called 2 of those guys offsides on that play.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean that doesn't change the outcome of the game, but
right.
I believe it happened on a 3rd down, on a 3rd and 8. And we were in there. We were on their side of the 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and again, it's not an automatic first down, but still, you know, we punted because of that, and it was blatantly, you know, it wasn't like one of these judgment calls. Like,
no, there was no judgment call. Yeah. It was there. Anyway, Anyway, you did say you saw a false start by this Pittsburgh Steeler lineman.
Yeah, we Broderick Jones, who you know, left tackle, left guard. He has struggled all year long. You know, he's been charged with, you know, protecting the blind side of Rodgers. And he was on the left hand side, and I mean, he left. He took at least a step early. Left a step early. I mean, should have been offensive motion, you know, against us. It was a no call.
I've seen him where a guy will twitch his hand and they call a false start.
Right. And I'm like, don't they have like,
what is that?
Yeah. But like, don't they have like a ref, like one person that looks straight down the
looking
line
down the
every
line.
game? Yeah. I thought that was weird. One against us, one went for us, but it's like, I just don't. But we're going to call these other ticky-tacky pass interference calls and all this stuff. But we missed like two of the easiest calls to make.
Yeah. Well, I saw one
pro football.
I saw one where a Steeler player, I forget who it was ready to catch the ball, and the Packer guy ran up with his arm up and hit him in the helmet, and then the ball came down. There was nothing. Well, that looked like pass interference to me, but even the announcers didn't say anything about it, so I guess I was misled of what, you know, pass interference is, or what a catch is what it is. And then, the one that everybody seems to be upset about also is the tight end, the greatest player on the field yesterday, Tucker Kraft, pushed off. Now, I believe he did push off, but there was a little bit of acting. You know how, you know, the flop rule?
Yeah.
But still, he did push off. So, in the rule book, that's a penalty.
I think it's a class that they teach NFL players when they first sign them, you know. I agree. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, I think that call could have gone either way. But still, you know, it was
none of that caused them to lose the game.
No, it didn't. I mean, and Jordan Love just threw it up for grabs, and good old Tucker Kraft, he went to South Dakota State
You thought it was
I
odd
mean,
that they had a camera in his hometown where the crowd
yeah,
was?
I mean,
Do you think that was odd? I
I,
did.
I I thought it was interesting, and there can't be a
Yeah.
TV station anywhere near there. And I thought it was interesting too that you know I mean, he didn't even play, like they didn't have a team big enough for like 11 on 11.
Yeah.
They played 7-on-7 football. But he
Yeah.
was a beast. He looked like an all pro against us last night. Interesting stat about him though, Bill,
Yeah.
that I was reading. Of his 143 receiving yards,
Uh-huh.
131 of those were after the catch.
Yeah. Yeah. And that all that gets on added on to Jordan Love's stats, which there's this debate of should the quarterback get those stats? I don't think he should, but whatever. That's the way it is.
Yeah, it's that's interesting, but Jordan Love looked good though. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway,
he
so let's go over a little bit. We're going to go over the Steelers offense here for a second or two. The Aaron Rodgers show passed for 219 yards. He had a 105 quarterback rating. So he had a fairly decent game. Did he throw any interceptions?
we didn't.
Okay.
Nope.
All
I
right.
think he was sacked, I believe, 3 times.
3 times. Yes.
But no, no,
Uh,
no, no picks. No,
yeah.
no, no, no
Well,
picks.
he had a fairly good game, but that's the way it goes. You're rushing. He had 93 yards between Gainwell and Williams. That's a pretty good deal, you know.
Yeah,
Almost 100 yards. We've been talking about every week about they need to get the 100-yard mark.
yeah,
So that's right around 100 yards. So, and this right here is why you lost the game. Boswell was 4 for 4 in field goals.
right,
You can't win the game against a high-flying offense kicking 4 field goals.
right.
That's what.
Three of them for 50 yards plus.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You
So
know,
that's the
I
reason.
I was watching the game with my wife and my daughter, and that's one of the first things I said to them in the second quarter. I said, "We're not going to beat these guys if we keep kicking
Yeah,
field goals,"
yeah. I mean,
and that's exactly what happened.
it's a cliche that everybody talks about because everybody knows you kick field goals, they score touchdowns.
Right.
Simple math.
We
You
yeah,
learned it in the second grade.
right. We let teams hang around, and I mean
Yeah,
the Packers are a great team. I mean they
yeah,
really are. But we had a lot of opportunities in the first half when we were really playing well, and to convert. You know
yeah,
you can't just kick field goals. It's
yeah.
just
Well, your defense is what lost the game. I mean, yeah, four field goals are bad. But literally the fact that you could not stop Tucker Kraft. I mean, he was running up and down the field, and guys were just hanging on him. It appeared and couldn't stop him. He broke one guy's
right.
knee, so
Yeah, he did.
you know.
Yeah, and it's I understand that's the Deshaun Elliott. He's got it's a pretty significant one.
Okay.
So he's probably done for
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if he's done for the year, but
Yeah.
he's not coming back anytime soon. But yeah, we just can't stop anybody.
Well, anyway.
30th overall, 30th overall defense.
Yeah.
We have the most expensive, you know, roster defensive roster in the league. We're last against the pass. We
Yeah.
did pretty good against the run.
Yeah. Last week you gave up 31. Was it 31 points against the
Sounds
Cincinnati
right.
Bengals? Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And Joe Flacco.
And Joe Flacco, when you gave up 35 points this week. The
Yeah.
You think Mike Tomlin and his staff are addressing this issue? Because
You know
Indianapolis
what?
can score some points too.
Yeah. I mean, I think Indianapolis is the number one in the league,
Are
in
they? I didn't look
passing
up any.
offense and scoring. I mean, they're definitely like top three.
Yeah,
I
I
think I
didn't
think
look up their
that's my
stats. Say it
yeah.
again.
I think that's my biggest beef and biggest question is that, we don't seem to make any good in-game adjustments. It's like if you watch that first half,
Yeah.
defensively we played really well
Yeah.
against the Packers, and offensively, I mean, again, besides kicking all the field goals, we still had a two possession lead, yeah, at halftime. The offense played decent. We moved the
Yeah.
football. And then, but you look at the second half, LaFleur for the Packers, it's obvious that they made a lot of adjustments on both sides of the ball
Yeah.
because they just beat the crap out of us in every phase of the game in the second half. And that
Yeah.
happens pretty consistently. We'll play a solid half of football, but we don't. Other teams make those in-game adjustments. I mean, it was night and day, first half
Yeah.
versus second half on both sides for us.
Mm.
And it just seems that we just weren't prepared, didn't execute. We didn't do anything offensively, and defensively we didn't do anything either. We couldn't stop them. I mean, they had 21 points in the fourth quarter.
Is that
And
they
so,
scored? They scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth
yeah,
quarter.
scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter alone.
Woo!
Now, I think one of those touchdowns came on the very first play. So it was like, I think, a 3 or 4 yard touchdown
Yeah.
run Jacobs had. So technically that might have been a late third quarter score.
Late third quarter.
But still, they
Yeah.
were on fire in the second half, both sides of the ball, and we had no answer for anything offensively or defensively. And that's
So
that's
So what
troubling.
we just went through, folks, is the coaching segment of today's show. Mike is under the impression that Mike Tomlin does not make adjustments well for the second half. Would that be a good assessment?
That would be my assessment.
Okay.
And I'm not a coach. I mean, I played some football,
But
in my
I'll
time,
bet
but
you
I'm
if
not,
you go on.
But it's
Yeah.
like, come on, it happens. It happens all the time. And if you read these other blogs and all these other
Yeah.
Steeler
They
sites,
say the same
a
thing.
lot of people talk about that. It's that coaching staff's inability,
Yeah.
to make those adjustments. I mean, a tight end, 150 yards receiving. I mean,
Tucker Kraft,
no sacks,
143 yards.
no sacks. Yeah,
He had 7 catches and an average of 20 yards per catch. That's that yards
Yep.
after the catch. To get 20 yards after average every catch, I mean, that's not good.
we can't. Yep.
And
I mean, we can't tackle. We can't pressure the quarterback. And on a lot of these plays, like, he was open. Like,
Oh yeah,
Jordan Love wasn't threading any needles. I mean, he was
Yeah.
open, and they were running free.
Yeah.
And that's just, I don't know. It just seems like
Well, this goes back to
late
your
the game in
adjustment
that.
thing. Look, he's going to throw it to this guy. We should cover this guy better.
Right? And maybe we're just too old. I don't know. Maybe we're just, because we're one of the oldest defenses in the league, and maybe we're just too old and just really not that good. I mean, Mike Tomlin at the very beginning of the year was talking about this potentially being an historic defense, and yeah, it's historic right now, but it's for all the wrong reasons.
Well,
and we can't pressure the quarterback.
In two games, they gave up 66 points.
Right.
Hey.
And what, 900 and what 900 yards?
Probably,
total?
Yeah.
I mean, you're just not going to beat anybody like that.
Yeah.
And again, not to take anything away from the Packers, because they're a good team. They're going to be there at the end.
Yeah.
But the Bengals without their, last week,
Joe Flacco just showed up off the street one day.
Said, "Hey,
that's
I'm
a
game where you can't let that happen." Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and really, when you look at it, we're 4-3, but we're lucky to be 4-3 because we really probably should have lost to the Jets in week 1. And had it not been for the Patriots turning the ball over, I think 5 or 6 times,
yeah,
hey, we probably could have lost that one too.
Let's get off of the pity party here. A win's a win, all right? And remember, as long as the other teams are losing, that's a win for you. That's why you're 2 games up on the loss side. Now,
well, true. Now the Bengals lost to the Jets.
Baltimore won this week.
Yeah, they did.
They're supposed to get their quarterback. I guess he's supposed to be back next week, maybe So
Yeah.
we'll
But
see.
look at our next two games. I mean,
Your next two games are rough. You got
now
um,
the Colts.
Indianapolis coming to town, and then you got to go to California to play San Diego.
Yep.
Sorry, the Los Angeles Chargers.
The San Diego Chargers. I agree with all. Yeah, right. I mean, those are two playoff teams. I mean, Indianapolis might be the best team in the league right now. I
Yeah, they
mean,
are. There are
well, don't want to.
theories out there. Is Danny Dimes possibly the MVP?
80 dimes.
Danny Dimes.
So, like, I mean, we're going to be underdogs in both of those games.
Yeah.
They both have great offenses. And I mean, how are we going to contain that? How are we going to stop those offenses when we haven't been able to do that the last 2 weeks? And I think that's the challenge this week. So I'll be curious. I'll be
Yeah.
curious what we bring this week. We'll learn an awful lot about our team this week, how we
Well, what
respond.
what I have learned is that you cannot put the Steelers cannot win if the other team scores 30 points.
Nope.
Nope.
I mean, absolutely right.
Yeah.
And
So
we in
you have to
and
keep
when
them
we don't
under 20.
absolutely, and when we don't pressure the quarterback, you know, I mean, we lose. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
We didn't have any sacks, against the Packers, and we let Michael Parsons get to us in the second half. We had
Yeah.
trouble protecting Aaron Rodgers in the second half, and
Yeah.
yeah,
But
it'll be
even
interesting.
but even though you kicked 4 field goals, you still scored 25 points.
Right.
That, is really, really good. So it's not that your offense can't score points. It's just the fact that you can't stop them from getting 30.
Right.
So,
Well, that's exactly. We can't rely on our defense to make like that big stop.
yeah. Well, but you have to. This is what they're supposed to do. You have to rely on them to make that big stop. So, or
Yeah.
just outscore them. Okay, those are your options.
Or just outscore them. Yeah.
And just outscore them.
I mean,
Can
but
you? I don't think
no,
that's not a possibility. I don't believe outscoring them.
I don't think so. Though I got to say, it was good to see Roman Wilson. I've kind of mentioned him a couple of times. He's their second year wide receiver out of I think Michigan. He had a really nice catch in the first quarter. I mean, a beautiful kind of like over the shoulder cut. I mean, it went for 30 some 40 yards. In fact, I think he led us in receiving yesterday. So that was positive that we might have. I don't know. We still need a WR2, but I was reading this afternoon that they may be signing what's his name? Valdez Scanling. He used to play with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
Oh no, they're bringing back Aaron's old friends. I made a short video about this, folks. I'll link to that in the description.
That's why I brought it up. He was he was with the 49ers this year. He played with
all the stuff is coming from the past.
I don't know. That was the latest I saw on ESPN. I don't know if it's official, but yeah, we gotta be better. We gotta be better because it's gonna get ugly really fast. All
right, folks. Well, that's all I got for today. Do you have anything else? Any closing thoughts about we're still going to make it as NFC North champs? You can't walk around like this, Mike. You can't walk around like this.
Yeah. I really expected us to win last night. I really did.
Yeah.
I mean, I expected it to be close, but I expected a lot more out of our defense, and I don't know. I look at our schedule ahead.
Yeah.
And it's tough to be positive, I guess, despite being 4-3.
Yeah.
Because at some point Baltimore is going to get going once Lamar Jackson comes back, and even though they've dug themselves a hole, I mean, we can't get out of our own way, and they're,
Yeah.
But just like you said, a win's a win. Any given Sunday, anything can happen.
Yep.
Steelers normally respond well to adversity. Maybe, getting your butt handed to you 2 weeks in a row. Maybe that'll let a fire under some people, including the coaches, to make some adjustments and do some things differently. But right now, we're just, too many breakdowns, too inefficient, on offense, undisciplined, penalties. We just got to be better. So we'll see.
All right, folks. Remember, like and subscribe because we need a gazillion dollars just because we need a gazillion dollars.
Right.
All right. That's all I got. So long, folks.
So long. Go Steelers.
Go Steelers.
This has been a production of Steeltown Football. Tune in each week for the best Steelers commentary in the world.